How you guys doing? It's coming to the end of the season, so I thought why not just do a raw rant, kind of style video where we talk about Season Strife, how I felt about it, how it's gone for ourselves, and kind of the upcoming days, because the season isn't over. Just to showcase this, we've got 13 days remaining, and what is going to happen in August on very soon, you'll see, is going to be the little magmas unscarred, which is going to allow the level 2 passes to be open, meaning we're going to have some war, boys. We are going to have some war. So we're just waiting for, obviously, this to occur. So when this happens, it's going to be absolutely guns blazing. Imagine more war content on the channel, right? But what we're going to be covering is, obviously, what we've felt on Season of Strife. So the mastery skills here, you can see, I've kind of unlocked all of them so far. We are going through all of the unlocks one at a time, even using the daily unlocks to maximize it all and getting these done. Because what I've felt, honestly, when it comes to these master skills, that they're all right, they're pretty fun. I just kind of wish you had less restrictions, right? I honestly do wish you had a little bit less restrictions on them. It would be cool, for example, if you could put 2 on a march like you could do on Rise of Kingdoms, but I understand they don't want to just carbon copy it, so this is where they've gone for this one structure instead, so it's fair enough, and it's a bit more easier to balance, I understand. But even when it comes to like the conquest achievements, you can see for the season rewards, I'm only 3 away from actually completing everything, right? I've healed over 8.3 million troops, we've gone through 5 million merits, so nice and easy so far. We've gone 69 on the master skills. So this is kind of one I'm working towards to get a nice, easy unlock at the end. But at the end of the day, when it comes to these quests, I wish the rewards were better. You know what I'm saying? I'm just going to be honest. I just feel like for the amount of effort everyone's been putting in, just getting 5 legendary hero tokens, 5 generational free tokens here, now 8, going into 13, 14, it's 17 or something, but unless I miscount, it's just like, it's not enough. You know what I'm saying? To me, it just feels like people are spending so many resources in this season, especially for killing, because the merits have definitely, as you guys know, been, just straight up changed. They have been straight up changed. When you've been in seasons when you've had T4 versus T5, guys, I have hit a 40,000, nearly 50,000 merit report. You guys have seen the video. It was with Lilia and my Indus. Even if I run that right now, I am looking to get around 15,000 to 20,000. I'm going to be honest. I am looking to get that. And that's kind of how the game is kind of operating. Even for T5 players, they're getting on average like 50k to maybe like 80k, but they're nowhere near getting those insanely crazy reports. So when you do see someone hitting that 100,000 plus report, it is kind of crazy to see, and you have to just give them credit, because it's so hard to do that. And it just takes you pure patience. Your talent build must be good, for example, all the things line up so you're not getting targeted either, and you can make a really good, merit report. And this season, I've not done too bad. I'm not going to be honest. I feel like I've done a pretty good job so far. We are personal power only around just about a drop in the top below the top 500 in personal power. But in merits, we're doing really good. 265 in all of the players that have participated. We're on 5 million, you can see, and 86,000. Like I said, the passes are going to open, so hopefully this could be maybe 6, maybe 7 million if I can push it towards the end. We'll soon see how the fighting goes towards the end, right? Because I do want to try and get some more stuff from the merit store. If we go over quickly to the right area, because I keep forgetting things have changed nowadays. So here, I would love to try and pick up this skill. This is going to give me so much money. It's insane, right? And as well as, I don't care really about the healing, but the resources is what it is. But I'd love to get the pet skills. That's something I really would like to get if I could at the end. Now, let's showcase off the account, because I thought, you guys like these account reviews and a full breakdown. So this season, I haven't really trained too much, as you can see. I have been going over. I started this season around 450,000 on the T5 on the Archer side. So you can see I have grown about 36,000 extra troops over the course of the season by just casually doing it. I've been also training a little bit more T4 as well along the way, because it's just easier, cheaper, and quicker to just train T4. I'm gonna be honest, just keep training T4, and when you want T5, promote them up. That's the way I have been feeling it. You can kind of see it with my mages, nearly 750,000 T4 mages, and that's going to be a really big number to keep an eye on, because you'll notice when we go to the next section, my T5 mages are going to be very, very shortly around the corner. We've had 130k on the infantry side, so what this means for me as a player, you've been probably watching a lot of my gameplay and seeing I've been running 4, 3, or 2 archers, right? And that's kind of because of my account, how I've been playing it, and I am going to showcase all of the heroes in a second. But if you go to multi-create, it will automatically kind of showcase what I've been running. So I've been running Syndron and Freygar with my Magzay. Unfortunately, these have been the best 2 performing marches. If I want to try and spread it out and make it a little bit more even, what I have been doing, just to give you guys a heads up, is been the old Kanara with the old Syndron, and then it's allowed me to move my Freygar across, because when we go over to the hero section, it actually makes really good sense if you haven't worked on your Zadar yet, why you can use this combination, and it's a really nice one. On top of this, if I'm not running these 2, what I have been able to run, as you guys can imagine, has been like my Nico with my Kanara. I've also been running Nico with Indis, which has been a really good match, but I think my Indis is out farming at the moment, so I can't showcase that. But I've been doing Nico Indis, surprisingly really, really good for free-to-play players. I'm gonna be honest, you'd be surprised on that match. And then I've been running Fia and Craig. Fia and Craig's been great. Sometimes I've tried Guanwin as well with Nico. It's not been too bad either. But a lot of the time, as you guys can imagine, my troops, the way I've had to structure this has been all the time in this configuration where if you look at the troop count, it will give me a bunch of T5. And what I've actually been doing is giving myself all the T4 and then filling the rest out with T5, because I need all of this to basically heal or to use for my Syndron March, right? My actual 300,000 maxed out heroes that I've been using. So it's been really hard to kind of, manage that, but that's one philosophy you really need to get down. And what I've had to be doing, which you can imagine, is Wyvern Riders. I have been playing Wilderberg, so I can run 2 full Wyvern Rider matches. So that's how I've been running 4 on the field. If you've been wondering, you can check again. I've been Wilderberg, and you can go to the faction here. The new Wyvern Riders, I will give you an honest opinion from this season, have been phenomenal. They are actually really good to use now. I will give props where props are due. And mine aren't T5 yet, and that's what's scary. Mine are not T5, and they're giving me 20k reports quite comfortably, which is very nice to see. Honestly, it's very nice to see with basically almost maxed out, tech for these guys. I love to see it. And the great thing about them as well is that new destruction mechanic. A lot of people don't realize when I made my video, and I really did stress how good it is to have a ranged march that could be destroying, this flag, for example, from range. But then on top of it, you could have your other marchers protecting it, and then at any point these can come into combat because they're basically far away, and you have all of the cards. Honestly, you have so much of a positional advantage. It is crazy, especially if you're doing certain flags that are really close to, like, rivers. You could be on this river here and just kind of poking away and just getting on, and they can't deal with you. So I do think the Wyvern Riders have been really good in Season of Strife. Now, just to finish on Season of Strife, mastery skills, I kind of just wish were a little bit better. What I mean by that is I wish there was a little bit more creativity allowed. I do hope in the future they allow maybe 2 of these skills to be put on a 1 legion. That would be really cool, and it would be up to the player if they want to run, only 2 marches with 2 and then 1 single, or if they want to run 5 separate matches all with 1 each, right? It's up to the player if they determine which ones is stronger and the sacrifice for playing that way, right? So I would love to see a little bit more, like I say, creativity on here. When it comes to the achievements as well, I would like to see a little bit more on the reward side. Honestly, even myself, I've free away from maxing everything out anyway, which ain't too bad at all. But when it comes to things, it's just not been that, you know, that great. I'm going to be honest. It's been a little bit of a boring season. It feels like I'm playing kind of a season 1 and season 2 mashup because of the way they've made it with the, you know, the inclusion of the statues, which you don't really care about either. So it is what it is. It's fun when you're in there, I think, for the first time, but the longer it goes, it just becomes kind of a little bit more boring. It loses its jazz. Maybe if they reskinned it, it might be a little bit more appeal. Maybe if they change these statues into a completely different event, that would be kind of cool. You know what I mean? If they change it into something else, that'd be really cool. Maybe it's like a live stone that it spawns and you have to keep transporting the live stone up to your side and you get points for doing so, right? That'd be a really cool event, right? Kind of like a mini Ark of Osiris inside the season. So I think if they did something different, I think this season would be actually a lot more enjoyable. On top of this, what's been kind of miserable, as you can imagine, are Bastions. Bastions have been just absolutely horrible. I've been purposely trying to stay away from them, but at certain points, I am going to just kind of go all into a Bastion to, you know, kill some troops off, to lower my power, to allow me to, you know, migrate a little bit easier. And I'll talk about that in a little bit of the part of the video. But Bastions have been horrible, and I hope they either sort out Bastion, so maybe when you go to a Bastion and you read it, instead of it being this 35 and 50% deads, and I understand they're trying to control the amount of troops people have, I think what they could do is just reduce these numbers. Just let attackers lose 35%, let defenders lose something like 20% or like 15%, something, you know what I mean? Just reduce the numbers, because that will increase the incentive now to actually fight, and you're not really caring about losing a little bit of the troops then, and people would more confidently go to defend. On top of this, they just feel unkillable too. You know, the fact that you've got to go through the durability when you have a Goresh Skogul inside one of these things, it is just standing there for hours and hours and hours on end. So yeah, Bastions definitely need reworking in Season of Strife, right? So now let's kind of just finish up the video with the heroes, which you've probably been seeing, a little bit of spoilers alert. But I have finally awakened my Kanara, guys. This season, I didn't have her awakened. You can check multiple videos in the back if you want and see her, but she wasn't awakened. Now I finally have, which is really nice because it means you can actually run the full Kanara with the Nico, full defense break build. And that's what I'm going to be doing in the next few days when War comes online, Pass 2 opens. I'm going to try the full defense break build that I'm going to test. It's going to be my own personal build. It's going to be a little bit spicy compared to what most people have been running. And I'll let you know how it comes back, right? And how it's doing. And I might have something on the cards here, because this is something which even the old school S1 players can look forward to playing in Season of Strife, right? And if you know it works in Season of Strife, you can imagine Belleron, it's going to be just as good, right? It's just going to be just as good with the long range warfare, right? MrSneakyy, we awakened him a while back, as you guys know, with my Syndron as well, awakened. So we've been really, really good now on the Archer front. And my Magra is 5551. So Archer-wise, we are now cooking. This is where I can kind of relax a little bit. I don't have to worry about too much on the investment side of things, because I've got a lot of Archers covered with secondaries that I can run at the moment. But I can now start focusing on building that troop count, getting more T5 out on the field so these guys can actually shine, right? And get the proper reports my account actually deserves, right? One thing as well, what I have been running, as you guys will notice, has been the Magra and Zeta Mage March. And the reason I've been running that is because obviously my Zeta is only 5112. And this is where I wanted to kind of bring back an earlier point in the video. If your Zeta is like mine, guys, it's okay to use as the mage thing, right? Especially if it's like 5511. You're absolutely cooking, guys. I'm going to be honest. You're absolutely cooking when it comes to that. But when yours is kind of like mine, it's not that great, especially even as an archer match, you really don't feel it. So if you are in my position and your Freyga is like a 5-5-5-1 or 5-5-3-3 like mine is, because this would be a 5-5-1 hero, but sadly, I haven't been able to roll the odds correctly onto my hero to give her, you know, the correct thing. Skill lock, come on, where are you? I need this in the game, right? But the Freyga with Magrat has been surprisingly good. I am going to be honest. This Magrat and Freyga match has been insanely good, especially when you get that uptime, right? That crit rate on 60% for the 7 seconds is kind of nutty, guys. I'm going to be honest with the Magrat. I know you get the more 25% chance, which is technically all the time, right? Through your Zeta, but it's on a 4-second cooldown. And the thing is, with my build, I actually ran a little bit of rage in this, and it's been really good. When I've come back out of it, the talent page I've been using now has been this page. It's been all right, I'm going to be honest. I'm kind of not confident with it still. I want to do a little bit more tweaking with it with my T5, to be honest. I'm not feeling all of these points. I really do want this march speed, that's the thing, and I am debating to take this march speed too, which is kind of crazy, I know, but I am feeling like you really do need that march speed on there. So I'm going to maybe shake things up. We'll see what the new build is going to be for my Magrat and my Zeta later down the line. My Syndrome build has been pretty standard. This is what I've been running for quite a while now. Straight up down the line, then you hit the Invincible, then we can go in down for Cool Under Pressure, into the crit, and then we get Mighty Slash. And then what I do is actually get Irrepressible first to give yourself that, you know, defense mitigation. And then I come back and grab my 2.5% extra attack, because it's just really good stats. And you do need march speed, so 15% march speed is really, really nice for this march. And with the final couple of points, what I just did is put it in here. Just gives you 20 extra rage. It helps you just get to your rapid fire a little bit quicker than other people. It's nice, it's nice. And if you wanted to swap those 2 points into the march speed here, just to give you an extra 4%, I'm not going to be, you know, shouting at you. Even if you wanted to put them in here to give you 4% probability to remove debuffs, which is kind of cool, could be an option. I'm gonna be honest, could be an option, but I like honestly the range for my Syndrome. When we've been running Nico, my Nico build has been this one. It's pretty easy. It's a nice jack of all trades build. It's going down the precision tree still, as you can imagine, but I've been going down more of a skill part with my Whirlwind here, obviously with Shower of Blows, with the Kanara in the back. And then with the Kanara build, which I ran this at the moment, and his build wasn't too bad. I'm going to be honest. This is one build that I've been cooking at the moment. I'm going to try it now because I've got a fully awakened with the Nico and see how good is this build, because this is obviously using Ambush 2 to allow you to get even more defense break triggers, which is really, really nice. And one thing you'll notice in all of the game, buffing is super important. So if I'm able to reduce one buff effect from that, you know, target every 20 seconds, this could be game changing. Because, for example, if I am using this Kanara and I'm against the Goresh, you could potentially hit the 50% or the 15 damage taken reduction buff. So if you take off his damage reduction buff and then you make him defense break, this Goresh is going to be squishy as hell. So I'm going to be testing that out. It's going to be one of my builds for her. If it's good, I'll let you know. Another build I've got for her is a little bit more spicier, I'm going to be honest, and I'm going to keep that under wraps for the video, so I don't spoil it for today. But what I've also been running just to showcase these heroes again, Thea and Craig's been really good, guys. Do not sleep on Craig. Craig is honestly a really good hero, especially even in Season of Strife. You can just switch this building skill, guys, and put anything on him. Anything. And by doing that, he's making Craig, honestly, an AoE machine, especially against those mages. You'd be surprised on how much merit reports you're going to get with your Craigs in your matches. So I definitely want to give a big shout out to this guy. Really good epic hero still to be using. Guan Wen was all right, but I do think Guan Wen's better if you have her in a T5 match, like Nico with Guan Wen. That's an option for you guys, right? So with all of that said, that's been all of the heroes. We've kind of broken down all of that, right? We've gone deep dive into the count. Just to remind you guys of the Legion count, just so it makes a lot more sense now what I've been running. Mage-wise, it's just been Magze, Lilia, and Valen. Honestly, they're the only 2 mage matches I've been running, so I don't want to go too crazy on them. And to be honest, I'm more of an archer player myself. But to finish off the mage talk and why I said you needed to remember that little bit of a mage count number for a future spoiler in the video, you can see we are finishing our T5 mages, guys. 15 days away and we've unlocked them, and we'll be only 1 away from finally getting our Wyvern Riders and then getting a march speed bonus for all of our T5 units, which is gonna be mwah. Cannot wait for that. And the beautiful thing about all of this, guys, is the kind of end of season. So you can see this is 13 days and 14 hours, nearly 15 hours, and this is 15 days and 11, right? So I've got almost that 1 day and a bit, maybe like 1 day and 12 hours overlap between when I finish season and when potentially I could migrate. I'm going to be honest. So it's going to be nice because I could stay under power, migrate into the kingdom, and then instantly get my next T5 unlocked and then not worry about trying to get any more permits, right? Which is really, really cool. If you guys are wondering about the migration plan, there has been some shout outs already. So I've been asked by a few members, shout out to PTW, EXG already, and a few more, honestly, in my Discord DMs. There's just so many in there. And I'm going to make a nice little video so far of those messages because I find them really amusing, especially 2 of them. 2 of them really embraced that migration video, and I want to say thank you to those 2 messages. I know you know who I'm talking to when I mention that because I just love them, honestly. But when it comes to the migration, I haven't fully decided where I'm going yet. I am going to just finish the fighting first in this season for OKS. That's my kind of aim. Just finish the little bit of fighting we've got. And then once the fighting is over, I can kind of just sit back in Home Kingdom, quickly farm up, do what I need to do, carry on farming up some permits, for example, and then, you know, go for my migration plan, right? So this has been the end of season account review, everything you want to call it in one video. We've kind of gone over my account, over the season, what I thought about it, all of that jazz, and I hope you've enjoyed it because it's just been a nice, honest, straight to the video, you know, straight to you video. So yeah, I hope you guys have enjoyed it. Smash like, comment, and subscribe, guys. And until the next one, stay safe, stay sneaky. Peace out.